across the board.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you the latest episode of Across the Board. Effects of listening to this podcast may include being educated on a random topic, shock, hysterical laughter, and an overwhelming feeling of wanting to subscribe to future episodes. This episode will start momentarily.
So what's going on today?
So, I saw a TikTok.
Okay.
And what happened was it got me thinking about the rules of society.
Okay.
The unwritten rules of society. So I said, ChatGPT, give me a list. So it did. I got the list right here.
Perfecto.
Hopefully nobody zoomed in on that and spoiled the whole thing. All right. So, according to ChatGPT, not me. So unwritten rules that everybody should follow.
Okay.
All right, let's start with number one. This is a top 50 list, so
Okay.
buckle up because this is going to take a while. Maybe not. All right. Rule number one, don't ask for something again if someone already said no.
Disagree. Because then how you're...
You could try to convince them, right? I mean, it's like...
I'm kind of in sales, so...
Well, and it's not just...
know.
I think it's more like if you want something from someone.
Yeah, I want to make that sale.
Well, okay.
I want the money.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true because it's like... If you ask,
if someone's going to say no,
it's like, what if you ask... Maybe the guy's like, okay, if you ask one more time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I disagree.
Okay. This one's more for the boys. You don't know about this one.
Okay.
Leave one urinal gap.
What?
The urinals in the bathrooms. Public
Oh,
bathrooms.
urinal. That's a year. I'm like, leave a year in the gap? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Urinal. You got to leave a gap.
Oh, like, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't like stand next to each other because it's like weird apparently or something.
Well, if there's a bunch of empty urinals and I'm in the bathroom and somebody comes and like stands right next to me, I'm going to look at them and be like, you could go a little further over.
Maybe they're a pecker checker.
Probably pecker checkers. Yeah, I feel like that's something that probably happens a lot in like West Hollywood bathrooms, but
To each their own.
yeah, to each their own. This one I don't know. Don't call someone unless you text first.
No. Why? Why am I going to do double the work? Either I call or text.
Like if I feel like if somebody's texting me and we're texting back and forth and they call me, that you just broke a rule. Like don't call me if we're in the middle of texting.
I don't know. Sometimes you just, depending on what it is and who it is, because sometimes you just want an answer right away and you're like, okay, maybe I'll just call them and I'll talk to them about this versus going back and forth on text.
Okay,
You know?
while I understand that though, but if we're having a text conversation, we're going back and forth like for like 5-10 minutes and then you just randomly call me, that's a no-no. Like you got to be like, hey, can I call you really quick?
I don't think you need permission.
No, because if you're having that text conversation, you're having a text conversation. You can't just like topsy-turvy it and go somewhere.
I didn't know that was a rule.
No, that's one of my rules. So
No.
take note. This is a good one. If someone shows you a photo on their phone, don't swipe.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely
I
not.
100% agree. And
Unless they tell you specifically swipe left to look at other photos.
well, but my thing is like, I just won't swipe because I don't want to see what else is on their phone.
No, obviously, but I'm saying that's a rule unless they tell you, hey, keep going. Like, look at the other photos.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd rather they just show me. Because what if I swipe in the opposite direction? Because like when somebody says swipe left, what does that mean to you?
Swipe left.
Like finger to the left or to the photo to the left?
Finger to the left.
Because not everybody means the same thing when they say
From the right to the left.
Yeah, I understand. But some people mean like go to the left. Like, like go back.
No,
like,
but swiping, you're swiping it to the left.
Yeah, but not everybody says swipe to the left. Some people
people just go like move it, like they just tell them like go this way. Because some people still don't know their right from their left.
As crazy as that is.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is I've heard that there are people that will not like. There are people that won't make left turns.
I had a friend like that in college.
And similarly, like if they're in England, they won't make right turns. Like it's like
It took us maybe 45 minutes to get 6 miles and that's without traffic. Okay, because she just kept making left turns, and I'm just like, I will never ride with this woman again.
So, but instead of just making a right, they have to go around the block, like.
Yeah, they would just go around the block and around the block and around the block, and up the street, and more rights, and they wouldn't also take the freeway. So
Oh God.
it was just this whole debacle, and I was just like so irritated. I'm like, I can't do this.
That's
like
not functioning.
Like, I get it, you have anxiety about driving, but like maybe you can figure out a way to kind of, work on that, because especially in LA traffic, if you're not making left turns, then you're literally not going anywhere. Like, where are you going?
Yeah, like if you have to go around the block to get to where you're going, like you
plus no freeways. I'm just like, no.
Well, no, but like some parts of LA, if you're instead of going right, you're going left. Like you're just adding 15 minutes to your fucking route.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes it'll take 15, 30 minutes to go down a mile.
Yeah, less than a mile, like a couple blocks. Yeah, that's crazy.
I couldn't.
Okay, this next one really freaking pisses me off. And if anybody does this, I mean, I've gotten close to pushing people because this one pisses me off to no end. Okay, imagine this. You're on the elevator.
Yes.
You're going down.
Yes.
To the lobby, for example.
Okay.
The doors open and somebody charges their fucking way in.
No, there's like an unwritten rule there.
That's one of the rules.
Like you let the people get out of the elevator first, and then you go in.
That's literally let people off the elevator before going in.
I have been through that a plenty of time.
Yeah.
And I have to catch my face because I literally get this like visceral reaction, and I just want to
and for some reason it seems like that's happening more and more lately. I don't know what it is.
There's no consideration.
Recently what I've started doing is when the elevator door opens, if somebody starts walking in, I just start walking out. And every so often I've made comments. I have though. Bump them and push them out of the way, or they get the hint and they stop and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, "Yeah, thanks."
No, I'm mostly a nice person, but there's been situations where they've come in as I'm exiting the elevator, and I'm like, "Let the people in the elevator exit first." Is literally what I've said to their face.
But it's like, you can't be in that much of a rush to where you're just charging in. Like, bro, calm down.
That's a rule. Like, you don't break break that rule.
I'm still on the elevator. Calm down. Like, you'll get your turn.
Are you that excited to go to work? You can chill for another 20 seconds. It's fine.
They're probably just late. That's why. Because apparently time blindness is a new thing now. Fucking stupid. Let people off. Okay. If someone's wearing headphones like I am now, they don't want you to talk. So don't talk.
That's 100% true.
No, but if you're in public, I completely understand that. If somebody's wearing headphones and they're walking down the street or at a restaurant, I'm not going to go up to them and interrupt them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hey, what are you doing? Don't take the last piece of anything unless you ask.
Yeah. I mean, I typically, does anyone want this last piece?
Yeah. And it's funny because I don't know if you've noticed this, but that last piece will sit there for a good 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Before somebody's like, "Oh, hey, do you want the last piece?"
But the thing is, I know that every single person sitting at that table wants that last piece. Who's gonna get it?
Of course.
The person that's why there's up.
If there was plenty of pieces left, that just means the food's not good. But if it's the last piece of food, it was a good food, like a good dish. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, this next one. It's funny to me because I've seen videos of people on social media that do this and they're riding on their own. And I'm like, that's weird. You don't get in the front seat of an Uber unless it's full.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
Yeah, there's nobody's had to.
Well, honestly, I think the only time that would be acceptable is if you get nauseous sitting in the back seat, because I know people like that. But I would obviously ask the driver, "Hey, is it okay if I sit next to you because of this?"
Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
But typically, no, you just sit in the back seat.
But it's funny because we just all collectively agreed on that. There was nowhere on the Uber app was like, "Oh, make sure you
have to sit in the back seat." Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody just agreed. When the Uber shows up, you open the back.
Yep.
This next one doesn't really apply to some people, but if you borrow something, return it in better condition. I tend not to borrow stuff from people.
I don't borrow anything either, but
yeah.
Also, another thing I will say, I don't know if this is on your list, but if you borrow anything, make sure you give it back, and give it back in a timely manner.
That's a good start. Just give it back.
Give it back.
Yeah.
You know how much anxiety I get taking anything from anyone and knowing that I still have it? Like, I have to return it immediately.
Yeah. Well, and that's a funny thing too, though, is like a lot of times, like people will want that thing back.
Yeah.
And they won't ask because they're like, well, you know.
No, I'll ask. I have no issues asking.
It depends on what it is, I guess. Like if it's something that I use regularly, it's like, yeah, dude, I need this back by tomorrow or whatever.
I just want it back.
Okay. Don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the aisle.
Like,
I feel like you do this.
in the middle of the aisle?
Yeah, like when you're shopping.
No, I've gotten better at that. I just usually leave it to the side.
I feel like you would be the one.
I would, you know, my fault. It's not a good thing, but I would typically just leave it and just walk away
No.
and grab a bunch of stuff. Why? What was my thought process there? I don't know.
I would push your cart out of the way.
I would too. I would too. So now I just like will like put it to the side where it's like not blocking
just
anything.
a little off to the side.
Yeah, and then grab my stuff and I'll come back, or just, you know, wheel the cart around everywhere. But yeah, I know.
You know what's even worse though is like those tiny little like typically ethnic grocery stores that where the aisles are barely big enough for two people to pass through.
Yeah, but at that point you can't really help it. You know what I mean? Like if you're going somewhere with your cart and you have to get something that's like 2 feet in front of you.
Why do they make those aisles so tight?
Small store.
Yeah, but
Gotta pack it in.
Well, get a bigger store. I don't know. If you want that much shit in your store, then just get a bigger store. All right. Anyway, don't one up someone's story mid conversation.
Oh, 100%.
I do this all the time.
You do that a lot.
I mean, it's just.
Oh my gosh! Like I've had such a long day. I've met with.
My day was longer.
I've had like 7 meetings today. You know how many people I met with?
Yeah.
You know how many meetings I've had today?
I gotta one up everybody on everything. All right. Yeah. If someone's in the bathroom stall next to you, silence.
What do you mean? Like,
Don't
what if you're
talk.
farting?
Well, whatever. If you have to, you have to. But like,
You're in the bathroom. You're gonna fart.
I've had people talk to me from the next stall. I'm like,
Who
bro,
talks
like,
to you? Ew. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That's just creepy.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what though? What I have done one time, there was a lady next to the stall in the bathroom I was in, and she was talking to someone that was near the sink, like her friend or whatever.
Okay.
And she goes, "There's no toilet paper here," and there were no like hand wipes out near the sink either.
Okay.
So there was like a roll that was just like chilling in my stall. So I just like put it underneath the thing, and I'm like, "Here you go," and I gave it to her. But I was just helping out another woman.
That's a little weird.
Why? She needed toilet paper. I'm not going to let her like.
I mean, I would just finish
Not
my
wipe.
business, and then as I get out, be like, hey.
But the other person outside didn't even like bother, like saying, "Oh, I'll find toilet paper for you." I was just trying to help her out.
Public bathrooms are not the place for conversation.
I don't have conversations, but if someone needs toilet paper and I can give that to them, you know what?
Okay.
I'm not going to let them be all liquidy in their underpants
That's gross.
after peeing. That's gross.
Moving on. This is more for the guys out there who were never taught how to be men.
Okay.
Hold the door if someone is right behind you. This goes for everybody, but especially for guys. Like, hold the fucking door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Hold door. Oh,
Hold door.
reminded me of that.
No, but seriously,
no, I agree.
The amount of people that like go through a door and then just like, dude,
Especially
really?
if there's a lady in back of you.
Yeah,
and you just literally
absolutely.
Just like, you know how many like.
I'll stand there holding the door for 15 seconds while that person approaches, especially
too.
if it's somebody elderly or if it's a woman. Like, I'm like,
But also, the being the other person that's walking in and
the anxiety that you get?
because
I've had
you're
people
like
hold the door
10
for me.
feet away and
you're
you're just
like-
holding the door for you. I'm like, oh, you don't have to hold the door. So I'm like running.
you got to hustle up a little bit. Yeah. This is you. Don't play music or videos out loud in public.
I don't play music or videos out loud in public. I don't. I like to play music in my car,
Okay.
but
I've heard you watch videos in public on loud volume.
no. Well, if it's a loud place, then I'm going to put my volume up because I can't hear it.
Sure. If you invite someone to dinner, you're paying. Depends.
Depends on what it is.
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
But if it's like a one-on-one, then yeah, that's kind of like a.
No, I mean, you know, I make plans with my friends and, you know, girls' night, for example, and we each pay for our own selves, or like we all like take turns paying, you know,
but
like
that's you're collectively agreeing to go out. Like if you specifically say, hey, meet me for dinner at blah blah blah, that's implying that you're paying.
not always. Not always. I think if you're doing like any type of event.
So here's
You know?
here's my point though, is if okay, so there's a difference between, hey, do you want to do dinner tomorrow? And hey, let's meet for dinner at this time, yada yada yada. There's a difference between two people agreeing on it and then one person saying, let's do it.
I don't see it that way.
All right.
I mean, I typically say, if I'm going to pay for dinner, like, hey, let's go to dinner tomorrow, my treat. Like, just to make it clear, you know?
Okay. Maybe there's more of a dating thing.
Maybe. Yeah, I agree with that. The dating thing, yes. If you're asking someone to dinner with you, then whoever's asking should be paying for it.
Yeah. Especially if it's a date. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
it. Like, I think that in that case, yes, absolutely. You know?
Anyway, don't use speakerphone in public.
I have a really bad habit of doing that.
I will never use. I don't even like the Bluetooth on my phone. If I'm going to be on the phone on Bluetooth, I'll make sure that it's just loud enough for me to hear and my windows are up because I don't want everybody hearing my conversations.
So I don't typically do that when I'm at like restaurants or, you know, places with other people. If I'm in like a secluded area and there's not many people around, or like I'm outside taking a walk or whatever,
Okay.
then I'll put it on speakerphone because there's no one around. But I wouldn't do that at like a restaurant or something, you know?
Okay, going right along with that, I don't know if it's in here anywhere, but also, if you're going to put somebody on speaker, you got to let them know the moment they go on speaker.
Like Bluetooth in the car.
Yeah, like as soon as they answer, before you even say hello.
Hey,
it's like,
I'm with this person. You're on speaker.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, consideration.
Yeah, because you don't know what that person's about to go off on. Like, what if they want to talk to you about some shit that's private, or they, I don't know, they're having a freaking bathroom emergency. You don't
want to talk crap about the person that's sitting next to you. You never know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay, that's, wow.
JK.
Wow. All right. This next one's kind of weird, but don't cut your nails in a shared space.
Ew.
That's gross.
Unless you're at the nail salon, which still kind of grosses me out, honestly.
Yeah.
When it it flings off and like.
Okay, you know what's really gross about nail salons though?
The dust, the nail stuff.
That shit's foul.
It's just nail,
and it's like everywhere.
But it's not nail. It's just like the powder.
I get it, but
look, if I know that me personally, if I had a nail salon, it would look impeccable. Like it would be so clean, it would be shiny. Don't care like how much dust there is. I would be cleaning that more than like twice or 3 times a day.
I feel like they should make like a little attachment that picks up that dust.
They should. Like, it's kind of hard to do that though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Nails are not. Yeah. Oh, bullshit on this next one. Always offer to help if someone's moving or cooking.
No.
Cooking is one thing. Moving is a whole different schlep.
No.
Like cooking is like, hey, do you want me to cut the onions? Okay, I can handle that. Moving is, I'm not going to offer to start moving couches and refrigerators.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. I'm sorry. That's a lot.
No, just hire a moving company. Like, I'm not doing that.
Well, that's the thing is I won't even move my own stuff, much less somebody else.
Exactly.
Call me lazy, but whatever. Say thank you when someone lets you merge in traffic. Yes, absolutely. The little wave or the little, just like something. Like, people that will merge after you let them merge and they just continue driving off and you're like, hey, where's my thank you? Like, what happened to etiquette?
No.
What happened to rules of the road? What happened to...
There is none.
It's... This is weird. I think ChatGPT got confused on this one. Don't take food from the top of someone's fries unless invited. So, like, are we talking about like loaded fries with like stuff on them?
Who does that?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
This must be a not us thing. Okay, so next one. Don't ask for details if someone says, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
That's pretty understandable.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're saying that they don't want to talk about it. And it's because they don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Like, don't assume that you're just going to push for the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. But apparently people do that. Oh, this next one. Don't stand too close in line.
I agree.
This thing is okay. So for whatever reason, and I've had this a couple of times where people have been so up my ass where I'll literally turn around and give them a look like,
Yeah,
dude,
me
like,
too.
Back up. Like, what do you, why are you, why can I
look back,
feel
like,
your
excuse
breath
me.
on my neck? Like,
Yeah.
get off of me.
Yeah. Like, you don't need to be that close to me. I don't need to feel you breathing on me.
Well, similarly, close talkers,
Oh
people
my
that
gosh, I
get
can't.
all in your face and like, you're like, dude, like,
I can't. When I can smell their breath, I'm good. Like, you don't need to be that close to me.
so I've had close talkers that will like get up in my face and start talking. And I'll like casually like
try to
during the
move away,
conversation
but-
take a step back
Yep.
and they follow you. And it's
Yep.
like, dude, like just back
Like,
up.
barrier here. You know, like,
Like,
give me
did COVID not
personal
teach you
bubble.
anything?
You know, like,
Yeah. Where were we? Okay. Oh, if someone's clearly struggling with bags or boxes, offer help.
I mean, yeah.
That's-
Yeah, yes and no, I guess, depending on how heavy they are, maybe.
I mean, I don't know if that's an unwritten rule, but that's just being polite.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, hey,
I mean, we've done that for our neighbors.
yeah, I do that typically for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
this next one, I don't know who does this, but don't go into someone's fridge without asking.
I've known people to do that.
But
I mean, I think like I wouldn't unless like the fridge is open and I can see what's inside of it.
no, that's still weird. Like, don't go in my fridge. Like,
No, but if it's like my best friend's fridge and it's open, I'm gonna look inside, be like, oh my god.
yeah, but at that point, your best
Okay.
friend's your best friend. Like, your best friend's not going to be like, oh, why are you in my fridge? But,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I think it
it's an
depends on who it is.
yeah, if it's an acquaintance or something and you happen to be
Yeah.
at their house, like, don't go in
No,
their
of
fridge.
course. But if it's like your parents or like your close friends and stuff like that, I don't care. So
Yeah. So this next one, and for some reason, the only people that FaceTime me are my brother and my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them, for some reason, always will FaceTime me when I'm in the bathroom. And that's the next rule, is no FaceTiming in the bathroom.
But how do they know if you're in the bathroom?
Because it's going to be blatantly obvious that I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's also sounds that go along
I don't like
with all this.
FaceTime anyway, so
I don't really like it either. Every so often it's cool. Like if they want to show you something, but like after they show you the thing that they want to show you, it's like, okay, now
like,
can we go back to
okay,
voice?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but I've had the number of times I've declined FaceTime calls and it's like my brother or my cousin and I'll text them back. I'm like, dude, I'm in the bathroom. Let me call you back. Like, come on. Okay, so this next one is, I think, outdated. If someone's car breaks down and you drive by, at least ask if they're okay.
I mean, I think you can typically tell if they're okay or not.
Yeah,
You know?
but I mean, that's also, like I'm saying, I think this is an outdated one.
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, not everybody had a cell phone and stuff. Like nowadays, somebody will just call.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Get help if they need help, whatever. But like if I drive by and I see somebody that's either clearly struggling or something's going on, then I'll stop. But
But it's also like, it's, with everything going on nowadays, it's kind of scary because
yeah,
what
you
if
never
they
know.
did that on purpose to get your attention, and I don't know.
Yeah,
Just,
you
you
never
think of
know.
all these things.
I mean, wow. Tired today. Yeah, I kind of get that also. But like, I think it also depends on where you're at. Like if you're, you're driving through LA and somebody's broken down on the side of the road, it's like there's thousands of people
Yeah.
everywhere. They can get help whenever they need it.
Exactly.
But if you're driving through the middle of the desert and somebody's broken down, it's like, yeah, they might try to kill you, but at the same time, like they might die if you don't help them.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like if you're out of cell reception range and
Yeah.
all that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I don't know. Have you ever been on a red eye?
We did, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't we use a red eye for Spain, didn't we?
Is that considered a red eye though? Because by the time we got there, it was,
Our flight was like 9 p.m.
I guess that's a red eye.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't be loud on a red eye.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Or don't be loud on a plane, period. Like,
Like seriously, just keep it to yourself.
just sit there and don't talk loudly.
Just put your headphones in and shut up.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously. I'm already in a tight space. Like,
Yeah, it's already not.
let me enjoy
comfortable.
my peace a little bit,
Um.
Also, don't bring food onto a plane that smells that's like very stinky.
Like curry.
Yeah. or like just
Like
kebab, like
cold
any type,
chicken.
anything of our like any of our food. You know what I mean? Like some things that are like very strong smelling. Like
cold chicken is a smell that I can't do, or like hard boiled eggs. Oh God!
Well,
I
here's
hate
the thing.
those freaking smells.
Hard boiled eggs are not supposed to smell if they're still fresh. They're not.
I feel like they smell regardless.
No,
no,
they don't. If you have fresh eggs, they don't smell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I could probably come up with like 20 things that you shouldn't do on a plane, but anyway, don't comment on someone's food unless it's positive.
Unless they ask you.
I mean, but I'm not gonna go to a restaurant.
I will never sit there and say, "Oh my God, your food looks so bad." Like I would never say that to someone.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're
or
not
even
gonna,
in a condescending way, that your food looks so interesting. Like I would never say anything like that.
Could you imagine though? Like you're at dinner with someone and you look over and you're like, "Oh God, what did you order?" Like,
Yeah, or like that's an interesting choice. Like
that sounds like somebody we know.
like I wouldn't say that.
I mean, he would. Anyway, if a group splits a bill, don't itemize unless discussed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think typically, at our age, we're just like, we'll just split the entire thing.
Yeah, if you're gonna split it two ways,
Yeah.
you're gonna split it two ways.
When we were younger, we would itemize it based on what we got, but we were also not making money back then. So
Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing too. Though is like we'll go out now, and if somebody might have ordered a bunch of extra food or something,
drinks or whatever, we're just whatever. We'll just split it.
Split it up. That's it.
Not a big deal.
Wow, where's this from? This sounds like a work one. Don't ghost a group project people remember.
Yeah, or a school project.
It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Don't double dip at a party. Who does that?
I don't know, but that is disgusting.
I don't
Unless you're like nibbling at like a vegetable platter, and like the veggies are like prominently kind of placed apart where you can just grab it without putting all your entire like hand in there, fine. But there are people who will literally stick their fingers in food on like a table and then stick it in their mouth and then go back and do it again.
That's
I'm like,
foul.
that is gross.
Especially if it's like chips.
I mean, chips, like, again, you can just piece it apart like separately,
No, but honestly, the double dipping thing, I don't even like double dipping in my own
Same.
like container of sauce. Like I don't like double dipping a French fry because I'm like, that's kind of gross. It's like I might as well just stick my tongue in the freaking thing and
just if you're like dipping into something, just put on a plate and then just use that. You don't need to like dislike.
So this next one's very similar to the elevator thing. Let people exit a bus or train before you enter.
Obviously.
Tell that to India.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos?
I've seen the videos or train or
Japan,
whatever. Yeah.
Japan as well. Like
I think they're so
there's
eager to get on because there's no space.
There's no space, yeah.
Which is understandable, but that's a lot to deal with. That must be so exhausting though.
Did you hear? I think it was like 3 weeks ago, in I think it was Mumbai or Delhi. There was like dozens of people got killed when there was like a little stampede at the train station.
That's so sad.
Yeah, because like people were like rushing to try to get onto the plane or train. Wow, the train, and apparently people like trampled each other.
Oh my goodness!
And a bunch of people died.
That's so sad.
I'm like, it's not that serious. You'll take the next one.
I don't know how it works out there. So.
Maybe it is that serious. I don't know.
I don't know.
That little pause was required. We may or may not have to make this an audio only. Apparently that camera that's facing you ran out of storage space. I don't know where it stopped. Maybe there'll just be a bunch of recording of me while you're speaking.
Okay.
And we'll
fine.
fill in the gap if that's the case. I don't know. We'll see.
You're the prettier one anyway, so.
That is definitely not true. But you know what's funny is for some reason we've been plagued with technical difficulties on these last 2 episodes.
It's okay. It happens.
And I feel like this shouldn't be the case.
It happens.
One of them had to do with battery. The other one had to do with storage. It's like,
yeah.
Whatever. Anyway.
Do you see how you always use the better camera though for yourself? It's because you're the prettier one and you know it.
It's not the better camera. That's actually the better camera. The only reason I have this one facing me is because I could keep an eye on what I look like.
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Oh, you too. Yeah. Don't bring up politics at Thanksgiving.
Nope. Don't bring up politics ever.
Not with my family. My family loves that politics
I
discussion.
just want to literally like leave every single time like any politics come up. I don't like it.
I think it's fun.
No, disagree.
Okay. The last bite of shared food is sacred. Ask before taking.
Wasn't that already something we covered earlier?
Well, that was the last of anything. So, like, I guess, like, if you're going to take the last pen at the office, then ask if you could have the last pen. I don't know. Okay, this next one is fun. Because for some reason, this was a thing at one point, but now it's not. Don't be the person who claps when the plane lands.
I
don't know why that was a thing.
I don't know. I think considering with everything that's going on with planes now, I think people will happily clap when it lands.
Okay, but that was a thing though back in the day.
When I was a kid, yeah, I would clap.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Because we made it safely. We landed safely.
Yeah, but planes normally land safely.
I think people are so concerned with that because I don't think people realize what a small percentage it is for something to go wrong, and people are just scared. So when it lands, everyone's like, oh, yay, we're here safely.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you really look at the statistics of it,
I know, let's not get too technical about it, but I think that's why people clap.
Maybe. I think a lot of people have a fear of flying for some reason, or like at least apprehension.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be scared. It's fine. You'll be okay. If a pet is sleeping on you, you're legally stuck there.
You are. Can't move. The little fluff has to just stay there.
No, I'll wake it up.
Little floofy. No.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to be stuck there for hours while this dog or cat or whatever the hell kind of primate it is going to sleep on me. I won't even be... You could be sleeping on me and I'm going to wake you up. Like, I don't care.
So rude.
If I need to get up, I need to get up. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No.
It's funny because sometimes I just shove you to the side.
Don't correct someone's grammar in casual conversation.
100%. 100%. I think that is so rude. I know you disagree.
You feel very passionate about this.
It happened to me, and I think that's so rude.
What did you say that was
pronunciation?
Well, that's different though. That's not
things
grammar.
Or a grammar, like what?
Like, I don't know, like more like all y'alls.
Yeah, don't correct anyone when they do that.
Well, to me, it's like I know that
that's just how they speak. Like
everybody has different. People use different phrases and different stuff based on what they grew up in and who they grew up around. So I'm like,
yes,
I'll give it to them, whatever.
Yeah, just leave it be.
If I can understand what that person's saying, I don't care.
Exactly.
Like I'll do that with people that barely speak English, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna berate you for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I should do that in my head. Just make fun of them or come home and tell you about it.
Right.
Oh, come on. This is all I do. I really enjoy doing this.
What do you do?
Don't brag about how tired or busy you are. We all are. I love complaining about how busy or tired I am. You love
complaining, honestly.
No, I like complaining about being tired. Because I feel like
you're always more tired than anyone else.
Not anyone else. Just the problem is that you never take me seriously when I say I'm tired.
Because you're always tired.
But maybe I am.
So am I, but I don't tell you I'm always tired.
Well, maybe...
Just suck it up and you move on with life. That's what you do.
Or maybe you'd feel better if you did.
No.
Just let it out.
No.
Okay.
This is why I like to do things. Even if I'm tired.
All right. This next one doesn't apply to us, but probably applies to some people. Always refill the Brita.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to leave a pitcher that takes forever to filter water empty for the next person. Yeah. But also, is it weird that I get grossed out by Brita pitchers?
I do too.
Because of all the plastic that's in there?
Yeah, I do too. I don't like it.
If it was glass, I think I would like it.
Yeah, it's not my.
But the plastic kind of grosses me out.
Yeah, it's not.
Plastic, anything grosses me out.
Yeah.
Like you remember those like dull pink pitchers that they would have at hospitals for water,
Which they still do. Gross me out.
or like the brown one, like the beige ones,
or the teal ones. It's
I'm like,
it's like
dude,
one of those like ugly ass colors,
like some random color that they couldn't sell to anybody else. I'm just like, no wonder people are sick. Like everything you bring them is unappetizing, so they just starve.
No, or you know what? I get grossed out. You know when you go to restaurants and they have those like scratched up, nasty like plastic cups,
Yeah,
like the clear ones or the red ones.
yeah.
Oh my god, I will not drink out of those. I can't. I don't know what it is about them, but they gross me out.
That's very Buca de Pepo.
Kind of, or like shakies, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever. But like it's just no.
Round table pizza.
Grosses me out.
Yeah.
Also, water in a restaurant cup can be glass or plastic that is lukewarm or like room temperature.
No, it's got to be ice water.
And it's just like been sitting there, grosses me out too.
No,
I don't like
well,
it.
and I also feel like they just get that right out of a sink.
Don't care where they get it out from. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like no.
There's a lot of like food stuff that I'm
Yeah.
not okay with.
That's another topic that we should talk about one of these days.
Yeah, because restaurants in general, in all honesty, restaurants, if you ever go to a restaurant kitchen, you probably would never eat at a restaurant again.
Probably.
Like they are disgusting. Beyond
But you know,
disgusting.
we're hoping for the best because of all the, you know, the things, the inspections they do and everything like that. So.
Yeah, they're only there for, a couple of hours
Yeah.
once a year or two. They're not catching everything. Restaurant kitchens are foul. They're gross.
Anyway.
The next ones are wow. The next 10 are the final 10.
Okay.
So I feel like there's a better way of wording that, but my brain's not braining today.
We're on the last 10.
Yeah. Home stretch. Here we
Home
go.
stretch.
If you cancel plans, the next move is on you.
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're going to cancel, then I'm going to expect you to reschedule.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to hound you for, whatever.
For sure.
Never start a group chat without muting it.
What do you mean?
I didn't know you could mute a group chat when you started it.
Why would you mute a group chat if you're starting it?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
This sounds like an Android thing.
Maybe.
This sounds like an Android thing. I don't do the green bubbles. Sorry.
We don't go to those parts.
No, we don't talk about that. Don't send a hey text with no context.
Oh my god, 100%.
Yeah.
Like no.
Well, you kind of do this too, though.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. What do I do?
Yeah, you'll text me in the middle of the day and you're like, baby, and that's it. And I'm like,
No, but I'll keep going.
no.
That first one is to get your attention.
Yeah. The problem is sometimes you'll say that and then you'll wait for me to respond. And I'm like, dude, what is happening? What did I do now?
See, I wouldn't start it with baby if I was like upset. Just remember that.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
I recall a time when you have.
Let's not go into that.
It'd be like, baby. And I'd be like, yes, my love. And you'd be like,
I get what you're saying.
didn't I ask you to take out the trash? Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just me keep going with that?
Yeah.
Instead of
Just
like
in one-
splitting it up.
One full thought per text.
Sometimes I can't put my thumb. Sometimes I just want to like
Yeah. Sometimes
freak you out a little bit,
you wanna
just
piss
like
me
keep,
off a little
I
bit.
just want to keep you on your toes,
Also, similarly, people who,
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
instead of texting a paragraph, will send 18 different texts with like 4 words each.
Okay, that's not what I was going to say, but yes. Like, can you just...
Formulate your thoughts. Calm down.
I understand if it's like 1 or 2, 3,
No, I've
but if it's like 7, 8, 9, like over, I'm like, bro.
I have,
Like,
yeah.
what was I going to say? There was something that, or someone texts you and they're like, can we talk? Or there's something I need to tell you.
Just stop. The amount of anxiety.
Yeah, I'm like, don't you do that to me. Don't. Because I don't know if this is like a normal thing or if it's just only people with like anxiety feel this, but it's like the amount of anxiety I get when people text me that way. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, just tell me what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Either that or just call me. Because this whole like, can we talk is
Yeah.
like, what? Like, did somebody die? Or,
Right.
Are you upset about your pizza toppings? I don't like, you
Yeah,
know, like it could be anything.
it's just immediately like a negative thought.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why that is, but that's just where it goes.
Yeah. Moving on. Don't read someone's texts over their shoulder.
No, why would you? I mean,
That's just intrusive.
yeah.
I feel like people do this though.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that look, but I don't really care.
That's why I get the little privacy screen protector.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Same Z's.
I mean, there was a reason why that was created, right?
Yeah, because people that read text over your shoulder. Don't post group photos without checking with the people in it.
So, yes.
I don't.
Yeah, look, I do
I don't
that
post
now.
group photos though.
You don't, but I post group photos from time to time, and I always try to ask if it's okay for me to post this. I don't. Look, when someone takes a photo of me, like in a group of like family or friends, if they're gonna post it, I don't care. Post it. I'm not one of those people that's gonna like Photoshop things and like make me look a certain way. I don't care. Right? But I know other people like care about that stuff, and that's okay. But I think it's just like too, like I'm a considerate person, but don't you think that's a little too much consideration sometimes? Like, do you think that's like overly considerate? You know, like. I mean, I can get both sides, but I always ask, but still.
I just think so. My mentality on this is if somebody's taking your photo, just assume that it's gonna be somewhere.
Especially nowadays. The one time that I do think it's absolutely necessary is when you're taking pictures of someone's child. If you're gonna take a picture of someone, like you're with, like, who you're holding a baby, like your cousin's baby, for example, or something, or your friend's baby, and you want to post that, I always ask.
Yeah,
I would never post a child's photo without getting the parents' consent, about it. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're taking a group photo with
just
friends,
assume that's going to go up somewhere.
Assume
like
just it's kind of like it's
Instagram, Facebook,
rule.
whatever
like they're
it is.
gonna post it.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're taking the photo. Like they're gonna post it. So moving on. Don't talk during trailers at the movies.
You should heed that advice.
Oopsie. I usually just comment at the end.
You comment at every which time.
No, I'll just comment and be like, oh,
no,
we're definitely gonna see that one.
No, oh yes, but you literally will keep commenting throughout the entire movie.
That's not true. That's not true. Not at the theaters.
Maybe not at the theaters, but like
not at the theaters.
You're like,
no, not at the theaters. No. Don't spread these slanderous rumors about me. I'm not that person. Always ask before tagging someone in a meme. Why are you tagging people in memes?
I don't think
that's not cool. That seems derogatory.
It's a meme.
Yeah. Why are you tagging people in a room? No, in a what?
Aren't memes supposed to be funny?
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna post a meme and tag someone in it.
I don't post memes and tag anyone in it anyway. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's apparently a thing.
Okay.
But you should ask. Don't announce someone's news for them.
Oh yeah.
Well, guess who's having a baby? This guy.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Don't steal their thunder.
Exactly.
If you borrow a car, return it with gas.
Yes.
Or electricity, for that matter. Who does that? Who would borrow a car and then just return it with an empty tank?
There's a lot of inconsiderate people out there.
Like, drop it off the keys. Oh, by the way, you're out of gas. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think I've borrowed a car once or twice, and even if I borrowed it with like a half tank, when I give it back, it's got a full tank.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like the price of me borrowing the car.
You're borrowing the car and you're using that person's gas. Pay it forward.
Well, not even just the gas, but like the cost, the price I'm paying for borrowing the car is filling up that tank.
Exactly.
Like, I'll just consider that like that's my rental.
That's
fee.
your payment.
That's
pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, people are inconsiderate. Don't make it weird when someone doesn't drink.
Yeah.
It depends on the setting.
I mean, if they don't want to drink, they don't want to drink. Like,
yeah, but if we're just out to dinner and somebody's like, "Oh, I'm not drinking," I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm not gonna force them.
I'm not gonna force anyone to do something they don't want to do.
But if we're like at well, maybe you're right. I don't really do that.
No, you don't do that. We don't do that.
I know people that do that, but I don't do that.
No.
Anyway. It's not necessary.
Just teach their own, like I always say.
Teach their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's our short little list of 50 things. That,
If you have any unwritten rules yourself, let us know in the comments. We'd really love to read them.
I feel like there's a lot more, and especially like
I'm sure.
I feel like there's also a lot of social media etiquette that needs to be reviewed, but I don't really know all of it because I don't use social media that often. I don't I don't know. I post videos and stuff for the podcast, but that's about it. But like, I'm sure there's a lot of little things about like stitching videos, duets, and all that kind of stuff. That, like, etiquette type stuff,
of course,
that we don't know. But yeah, like we were talking about, was it last week? Like people just lost all sense of fucking, like people have just forgotten how to become people or how to be people since COVID. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's why we need to have these rules written down, even though they're unwritten rules. Like they're not.
Let's study them.
Yeah, people need to be told these things every.
We
so
should put
often.
these in schools, right?
You know, there's a lot that should be in schools, and there's a lot that could be replaced.
Oh yeah.
Because like there's like listen, instead of actually, you know what? A side note. So I was gonna say instead of the Pythagorean theorem, but I literally used that a few days ago at work.
For what?
I was calculating the distance of something, and I didn't know so a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right?
Yeah.
I literally used the formula to calculate the distance of something.
Well, I'm glad it came in handy.
It came in handy for once. I was like,
once out of your,
it's funny because I was looking at this thing and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know how to do this.
My dad uses it a lot. With
I'm
his
sure.
work,
I'm sure. But you know, my point.
But like, not all of us are going to be engineers and you know, everything else. So.
But the thing of it is I think that there's a lot of other stuff that we can replace. There's like certain things and like, you know, like some bullshit, like not even like full on classes, but like certain parts of classes that you could probably replace with something more not effective,
well suited for
like relevant,
becoming an adult.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like
Something more relevant.
Taxes and
maybe
that.
teach people like personal finance, entrepreneurship.
Exactly, because you don't get to learn any of those things unless you're in business in college. You know, for the most
that would actually be cool. Like having an elective class in high school that's like entrepreneurship, and it teaches you how to start a business and all that. Like that'd be.
I wonder how many kids would actually take that class though.
I think they would.
Maybe.
I think kids would.
I think you would have.
I think a lot of kids would, because a lot of kids are looking around going like, I want to have my own business. I want to be rich. Like, I'm not going to be rich working for, you know, whatever XY company.
Yeah.
So they're like, I might as well start my own business, and that stuff can come in handy.
I mean, for kids who are interested in that. I like choir, so.
Oh, there you go. But if you had an entrepreneurship class to go along with choir, you might have like started some kind of a choir related business.
Probably not. I mean, I took all those in college.
The LA Philharmonic.
No.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Give it, you know, let us know your thoughts, likes, comments, please, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. Thanks for listening.